अस्सलाम वालेकुम। एम्बेसी रोड में खुश आमदीद। नाज़रीन, आज हमारे मेहमान हैं पाकिस्तान में रोमानिया के सफ़ीर एमिलियन योन, और ये एक बहुत ही तजर्बाकार सफारतकार हैं। इन्होंने अपनी ज़्यादा ज़िंदगी सफारतकारी की जो है वो इस्लामी दुनिया में और ख़ास तौर पर मशरक़ वस्ता में गुजारी है, और ये रोमानिया की वजारत ख़ारजा में भी आला ओहदे पर फायज रहे और एक बहुत तजर्बाकार और सीजन्ड diplomat hai. Excellency, thank you for joining us in this program. We will start about Romania. Romania has been a very important country in the Eastern Europe, and since 2007 it has joined the European Union. How would you describe the difference between the life after you have joined the European Union and before your joining of this organization?
First of all, I would like to say you welcome to my house.
Thank you.
And I thank so much for your kind invitation. So, as you mentioned, Romania is in European Union since January 2007. European Union is a model of regional cooperation in Europe. After our integration, there are a lot of benefits from Romanian as a country, as also for the people. And Romania is the seventh largest country in the European Union. So we have a strong voice in this European Union. So to talk, I think daily we can see improvement, we can see benefit in all fields after our integration in the European Union. Because Romania, as you mentioned, it's a European Latin countries, is part of Europe, Central Eastern Europe, and Romania has a huge industrial and agricultural potential. So we came with our potential for a European Union. Romania, it's a big market, but also we are a big exporter of our product for European Union market. So I can say frankly, it's good for both, for European Union and also for Romania.
Excellency, you were a part of the Soviet bloc some time back. And do you still have those influences or those marks on the life of social life of and political life of Romania?
So, you know, Romania, as I said, Romania is Latin countries. If you want, let me to tell you, Romania is small Latin island in the middle of Slavic Sea. So, Romania is in European Union, Romania is in Europe, Romania belongs to this culture and space of Europe. So it's difficult to say, but now it's after the change we resume our political democracy, political game. So it's a difference that wasn't before. Just to tell you, now there is a freedom of expression, freedom of movement. It's a different. It's not.
How strong is Romanian media? Is this media very critical of the government policies, or it is allowed to criticize the government and other institutions of the state?
As I said, we have Romania is a democratic state. Media, it's four powers, and like in many countries, media in our country is very, very strong. So very open and not, let's say, aggressive, but offensive. So sometimes through media we can help the government and the leadership of the country to govern the country. So
in a better way.
Better way. In Romania, media it's full free, no restriction.
What about the industrial production of Romania? Because Romania was industrially very developed even when it was under the influence of Soviet Union. And now that you have joined the European Union, have you been able to upgrade the technology, and have you been able to increase your industrial production?
During the socialist time, so Romania developed a lot industry, all type of industry. And it's normal after the change, many investors from the abroad, especially for western of Europe, they came to Romania. Of course, they brought with them technology, new equipment. So we succeeded because if you want to compare now in Romania, around 80% of our national economy, it's a private
economy.
So it's a private sector is very important in our country. So.
What are the major industrial outputs of Romania, which it is exporting to other European countries and elsewhere in the world?
I said all type of industry, but I can give you an example. We have a very good cooperation with the French for cars. So-called Renault 18. Now it's
automobiles.
Automobile.
Yeah.
It's very famous. So we export a lot. Another type of industry, the steel industry, so what you can, textile industry is very developed. So if you compare with you have this developed very too much textile industry in your country. You have a big advantage because you have a cotton, for example. In Romania, we don't have a cotton. We don't grow cotton. We import cotton.
Yeah.
But we have also labor is cheap, like in Pakistan. But we have technology. So one of main export of Romania is also textile industry, agriculture.
What are the prospects of expanding the commercial ties between Romania and Pakistan? Have you identified the areas where the two countries can increase, expand their commercial, economic relations?
Yes, it's a good question. Let me to tell you something. So my job is very simple here. My job is to represent with dignity my country, but also is to try to promote with Pakistani friends, with Pakistan authorities, bilateral relation between Romania and many affairs. So as you know, maybe Pakistan is a strategic partner of Romania. We have historical background, bilateral historical many fields. Just for example, many years ago, we built your national oil refinery in Karachi. We built a 3 cement plant. Among the, I can mention now Lars Berla and Kohat. So we have a very.
These are private sector or public sector cement
plants? Before the public sector from our side. So now, after I come here in January 2009, I tried to identify with the help of the business community in your country what we can do, because, in my opinion, the current volume of trade doesn't reflect the real potential of our national economy. So I started to travel in your country. I visit several times Karachi, Sialkot, Gujarat, Lahore, Faisalabad. So I visit main industrial center of your country. So I discovered that I was very impressed, because among the business community in Karachi and Sialkot, there are some people who are already know very well Romania. They are dealing with Romania. I just give you 2 examples. I was impressed in Karachi. One man told me, I know very well, Ambassador, I know very well the country. Now I'm able to produce tractors.
Romanian tractors?
Produce Pakistani tractors, but I said I'm able to produce Pakistan in Karachi with your technology, with your expertise. Another told me I'm able to furnish wood with your expertise. So what I have succeed after that? I succeed to create first this year to launch Pakistan-Romania Business Council. So in a few days, this Pakistan-Romania Business Council will send official delegation to Romania. So it's a small group, small 14 businessmen. They go to Romania. They will meet officials, but also they will meet business community in Romania. They will sit around the table. I'm very sure that during their talks, they will find something to do, because they will speak their language of business. Secondly, I revigorate Friendship Association, Pakistan-Romania Friendship Association, with headquarters in Islamabad. It's like bridge, both are bridges to promote bilateral relationship between Romania and Pakistan. So another step is to select a point to reopen our honorary consulate in Karachi, Faisalabad, and Lahore. So I also succeed to bring recently a high-level parliamentary delegation for Romania for the first time, because it's not our practice to combine parliamentary delegation with a business delegation. So two very important Romanian companies, they came here, they talked with the Pakistan. There is a real opportunity to do something together. And this field that Pakistan has a huge deficit electricity. So very soon maybe
it's very important, Ambassador. We'll talk about this cooperation in the field of energy. We'll take a short break here. नाज़रीन एक मुख्तसर ब्रेक लेते हैं और ब्रेक से वापसी के बाद हम पाकिस्तान में रोमानिया के सफ़ीर से बातचीत जारी रखेंगे। वो हमें बता रहे हैं कि पाकिस्तान और रोमानिया के दरमियान तजारत के शोबे में और इक़्तिसादी शोबे में ताउन के वसी इम्कानात मौजूद है। इसी पे वो बात कर रहे हैं। वेलकम बैक। हम बात कर रहे हैं पाकिस्तान में रोमानिया के सफ़ीर से। एक्सीलेंसी, यू वर टेलिंग दैट पाकिस्तान्स एनर्जी प्रॉब्लम्स कुड बी सॉल्व्ड with the help from Romania. Romania can help us in overcoming this problem. Are you thinking, or is there a proposal being considered by Romania to help Pakistan in this field and invest in energy sector?
So, as you said, Pakistan has a huge deficit of electricity. To solve this matter, so your leadership need cooperation and partnership with the international community. So among the country, among the friends of Pakistan, of course, there is Romania. As I said, we succeed to brought here very strong consortium in Romania, and they talk with Pakistani friends. They already signed a memorandum of understanding. So there is a prospect in the future to build Romania with Pakistani together. Hydropower, 100 to 150 megawatts. So with the hydro, but there is another company. There is under discussion because in Romania, when they started to produce electricity, in Romania we started to produce with coal, and thus we have a huge reserve of coal, like in Romania. We have a technology, we have expertise. So there is some discussion between a Romanian company with a Pakistani company to use this technology to develop.
Pakistan has discovered huge reservoirs of coal in Thar, in Sindh province, and we are thinking to use these coal to produce electricity. Has it been discussed with you and Romanian businessmen or industrialists? They could come and invest and help Pakistan because they have this technology to produce electricity.
As I said, there are some discussion. So during the parliamentary delegation was here one representative of the Romanian company, very famous Romanian company, to use coal to produce electricity. They are under discussion to find concrete opportunity to develop. I understood. I put them in connection. So underway, but I'm very optimistic. I think they will do a very positive way to develop this.
You also mentioned the cooperation in the field of pharmaceuticals. Can Pakistan and Romania help each other, or they can be jointly investing in these projects of pharmaceutical production?
There are already two Pakistani companies from Karachi in connection, business connection with the biggest Romanian company from Iași. So to export, import, because it could be in double sense. To export some Romanian medicine, also to import some Pakistani medicine. So there are already some concrete steps in this field of
Is there any Romanian pharmaceutical firm or company operating in Pakistan these days? No.
They are operating through these two Pakistani companies. Okay. Because they have signed a joint venture. So they have such cooperation.
Can you think of, or the government of Romania can think of helping Pakistan in setting up another steel mill? The Soviet Union helped Pakistan built this current steel mill in Karachi, which is in crisis, which is in trouble. So is there a prospect or a possibility that Romania should help Pakistan to build a new steel mill, not of big size, but small size, with modern technology?
Romania develops this steel plant in Romania, have a very strong plant in Romania. So recently I received a request from one Pakistani company. So I put in connection with a Romanian company to see what can do in this field. We have, as I said, technology, we have experience, we have a partnership. You know, this steel is very important for the construction, for the building. So I think we can do something in it.
You mentioned that Pakistani businessmen, a delegation of Pakistani businessmen, industrialists will visit Romania. What do you expect from this visit?
So, in fact, it's a second delegation of Pakistani business. 3 weeks ago was a delegation from Sialkot, this Leather Gloves Association. Now it's, as I said, the Business Council delegation. What I expect, first, it's important to put in direct connection each other, to talk, to meet, and to see what can do. I'm very optimistic because among the fields of discussion, there are leather, textile, pharmaceutical, dental, surgical instrument, sport, chemicals. There are some fields where we are already dealing. So maybe they will develop, because they will meet during their visit Romania. They will meet 3 chambers of commerce. Business
in Romania.
Bucharest, the biggest chamber of commerce. Second, Prahova and Brașov. Prahova is very famous for oil and gas. As I said, people from Prahova Chamber of Commerce, they built this national oil refinery in Karachi. We have some historical relation, but I'm very optimistic because, as I said, I put them in direct connection, and they will finally find some opportunity because they speak the same language of a business.
What about the cooperation in the agriculture field? What kind of cooperation can be there between Pakistan and Romania in the field of agriculture, and to boost the agriculture production here in Pakistan and export products to Romania?
So far, company from Pakistan imports some agriculture machinery, import cereals like wheat. Also started to import from Pakistan rice, because we don't grow in Romania rice, but we started to eat more and more rice. So for the beginning, what can I say? Now they are only import-export, but I'm sure in the future they will resume the cooperation, as I said, for the tractors. But let me to tell another, we have another strong cooperation in the culture field. Just to inform you, we have now in Lahore 12 Romanian teachers. There is a partnership between University of Bucharest, University of Lahore, governmental college. There are 12 teachers. They are coming here by rotation for a module 3 months.
What are they teaching? Culture?
Mathematics.
Mathematics. Oh, great.
You Pakistani are very, very intelligent people, and they are coming here. They are here to teach teachers and students. And also there are other opportunities of direct cooperation between universities from Romania and Pakistan. As I say, Romania is a Latin country. So there are 5 Latin languages in the world: Romanian, Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese. So our roots are Latin. So in the life, it's not good to be connected only to one culture. It's good also to connect to another culture. So I'm happy because more and more Pakistani young started to go to Romania. In the present, there are 200 Pakistani students studying in Romania.
Great.
Romania, no, because why? I won't tell you why. Because tuition is very cheap.
In Romania?
Romania. If you compare, and I know people, students prefer to go Great Britain or United States of America. But Romania is a European Union country. We have the same legislation. One diploma got to Romania is valid in any European Union countries. So because before integration we have been obliged to harmonize our legislation.
So it's a great cooperation in the field of education as well. We'll continue this discussion. नाज़रीन एक और मुख्तसर ब्रेक लेते हैं. ब्रेक से वापसी के बाद हम पाकिस्तान में रोमानिया के सफीर से मज़ीद गुफ्तगू करेंगे. वेलकम बैक. हमारी बातचीत हो रही है पाकिस्तान में रोमानिया के सफीर जनाब एमिलियन योन से. In the field of education, Pakistan and Romania can move hand in hand, and you said that 200 students are already there. In which fields Romania can provide cheaper education to Pakistani students? If you can provide quality education cheaper than the education which is being given in UK and USA and other European countries, definitely Pakistanis would like to benefit from your institutions.
So, as I said, we are in the European Union. We have the same education system in Romania like all European Union countries. I am very happy that I succeeded to convince your students. Maybe go to Romania. There are 200 students. They pay themselves studies in Romania.
Which discipline?
So, economics, journalism, agriculture, medicine. And I'm happy because in Romania there are a lot of foreigners. According to our data, around 30,000 foreigners. Just to give you an example, because not only from countries like countries from Asia, from Arab world, Africa, but there are students from European countries. They are coming to study. Because, as I said, education tuition is cheap. Most expensive, for example, for medicine, it's $6,000 annually tuition, and quality of the education
is good.
Is very good, very well appreciated. So there are a lot of opportunities. First, to extend cooperation in this field of education. Education is very important for any country because it prepares the next generation. It's very important. We pay a lot of attention to this field, education, and we can extend our cooperation not through the studies. As I mentioned, this partnership in Lahore, we can bring from Romania teachers. Some teachers from Pakistan, they can go to Romania for workshop, for lecture, which is help of IT now. It's easy to stay in a Romanian university to lecture for students in Pakistan. So there are a lot of opportunities. What is important is our job to put in direct connection university from both countries to have this direct partnership.
In the field of information technology, Pakistan is longing to have more IT workers, IT engineers, because it is the subject of today's life. In this day and age, people want to master information technology. What are the prospects for Pakistan?
It's a good question.
To Romania and have this IT.
It's a good question. I want to give you good news. So recently, we create a common plant Pakistan-Romania from IT. There is one company came here for I know.
Software engineering.
Pakistan is very famous, but also I was impressed because my Pakistani friends discovered also Romania. They came, create a company, they have a small box like this. You connect it through internet. From this box has two utilities, for TV, also for computer, as a computer. Put here cable internet, from here go to TV, you can use. And they sign agreement, I understood that one mobile operator, Zong, they will be very soon able to broadcast 16, 17 channels through the internet. This box you take with you in your pocket, go to the Lahore PC hotel or somewhere, and you connect to the TV. You'll be able to watch TV, also to play, because TV can use as a monitor. And I have here in my house, I am able to catch now 67 Romanian channels. So to give you one example, we have already started a good cooperation in this field of IT.
Great. So let's move away from this education and IT and business. The world is facing a huge problem in the shape of terrorism. The entire world is affected by it. Pakistan,
unfortunately,
Pakistan and Afghanistan are the two countries which are most affected by this war against terror and terrorism. So how does Romania look at it, and especially how Romania evaluates Pakistan's role in this war against terror?
During my official talks and during the talks between the Romanian officials, Romanian Pakistan officials, so Romania appreciate the role of played by the Pakistanis in its fight against terrorism. We express our gesture to the Pakistani. So we came in this moment with some financial contribution. Amount is not too big, but what is important to show your friendship, solidarity. Even recently, a few days ago, we announced our financial contribution for floods, for example. But role of Pakistan is not only appreciated by the Romania, but from international community. So
but there are some critics, Excellency, in the West who think that Pakistan is not doing enough, and they always demand Pakistan to do more. So I am here not to criticize, not to give advice. So what I said, Romania is a friend, is a partnership of Pakistan. We appreciate the role of your country, the role of your civilian and military leadership to fight this or because it's very important to have Pakistan has a very important geostrategical position. It's very important to have a reconciliation, reintegration, to have a peace in the... So Romania is supporting this peace and reconciliation process.
Of course, we are in favor of peace in Afghanistan. We are in favor of a reconciliation, reintegration process. We hope and will be success in this field, because peace and stability is very important for Pakistan, for Afghanistan, but also for all the region.
What about the Bonn conference, which is to be held next month? Is Romania participating in this conference, which is to be held to basically frame the basic features or the parameters of the partition plan?
We don't have a direct participation, but we have an indirect participation through European Union. So I understood that Bonn is after Istanbul, so it will be a moment to endorse what it's already international community, main actor try to bring this regional approach to stabilize and bring peace in Afghanistan.
Thank you, Ambassador. We'll take another short break and I'll come back to you. नाज़रीन, एक और मुख्तसर ब्रेक लेते हैं और ब्रेक से वापसी के बाद हम पाकिस्तान में रोमानिया की सफीर से मज़ीद गुफ्तगू करेंगे. Welcome back. This region is, unfortunately, as you said, that it is, and I said also, that it is worst hit by terrorism and unrest and all that. Now efforts are being made that the South Asian region be a peaceful region, and India-Pakistan relations are now improving, and I think the international community is also putting pressure both on Pakistan and India to open trade channels, to do more trade. How does Romania look at this?
What I can say myself, I welcome what happened recently between India and Pakistan. It's a very positive step to normalize bilateral relation. It's normal for two neighbor countries to have a good relation because India and Pakistan are a key player in this region. The region needs stability and peace. So we hope this dialogue, and as I saw in the media, and there are concrete steps. Last time they started to normalize trade, and commerce is very important. So I'm optimistic, and it is good for India and Pakistan. This is my personal impression.
You have spent a lot of time as a diplomat in Middle East. Middle East is also in the grip of changes. One after the other countries, they are, in turmoil. People are coming on streets. They want to change the governments there. You think that it's a democratic movement there, which is gripping all these countries?
No, what happened? I think it's a will of the people. It's a democratic way to try to see how can they solve the situation. People, they need freedom of expression. People, they need the freedom of movement. I think it's very, very normal what happened. Look, what happened in this part of Central Eastern Europe after this socialist time. So I think it's normal.
Some analysts are very skeptical. They think that these changes and these uprisings in various countries in Middle East are going to create more chaos, more upheavals, and the region can become very unstable. And the dream of democracy may not come true in that region. Some of the people who are very skeptical about this change.
I'm not among the skeptic people, but what I said, it's not easy, but it's good for the people.
Among the European Union, the new entrants in European Union, like Romania and other countries, how do you feel that the old Europe, the Western Europe, how is the old Europe treating these new entrants? Are they happy?
We are friends. We are partners. We have this ambition to develop our region, to consolidate the European Union as a political economic model. So not difference between us.
No discrimination. Turkey was also trying to be a member of European Union. Is European Union ready to take more countries as part of European Union? I'm just talking in general sense, general policy, to welcome more members.
So this process of enlargement, because the last extension for European Union was Romania and Bulgaria, 2007. This process of enlargement, extension will continue, and so on. Romanians in favor of integration of Turkey. Turkey is our friend. Turkey is a country who play a big role in many international issues. So we are in favor.
What about relations between Romania and Bulgaria and other countries of that region? You have cordial relations, you have some irritants with them too?
We have a very good relation between us. It's normal because we are in the same organization, European Union. It's normal to have a good relation between us. So
there's no problem.
No problem.
What are the prospects of developing Romania to a level where it is at par with the most advanced nations of the European Union like Germany, France, and UK?
So we continue the same level of cooperation with these countries. So among the first investor and trade partner in Romania, there are business from Germany, from Italy, from France, from UK. So we continue this cooperation because we need each other.
But any time frame in your mind that in 10 years' time, in 12 years, 15 years' time, we will be at par with Germany and France, which are considered to be stable.
What do you mean? What do you want to?
In terms of time, I mean.
It's normal. There are some difference because they started to develop more. But Romania, it's a very developed country. It's, as I said, a huge industry in agriculture. So this, with the time, is no difference between us. Because, as I said, Germany business, they came to Romania, they invest. So there is a continued partnership.
What is your impression about Pakistan since you have arrived in this country? How do you look at Pakistan?
So let me to be very frank. I enjoy in your country. To see Pakistan, it's not good to stay in Islamabad. Islamabad is not Pakistan. To understand Pakistan and to see Pakistan, it's good to travel. I traveled last time. I was in many city in your country. Pakistani people are very polite, very friendly, very open. You have Pakistan, it's a great nation. You have a huge potential and landscape. Now I'm working to publish very soon on the occasion of the National Day of Romania, because very soon will be the National Day of Romania, 1st December, to publish a photo album.
On so,
Pakistan. So about the landscape of your country. With the help of some Pakistani friends, we succeed to have around 100 photos to show to the people, just photos to the landscape of your country. Because
the natural beauty of Pakistan.
Yes, I was in Chitral, I was impressed. I was in Kailash Valley, I was impressed. Now there are some idea to go to Hunza, and also Hunza is something very interesting, amazing, fascinating. So, Skardu, as I said, I like so much Pakistan. I'm very impressed. It's a huge, great nation, and people very, very polite. So, between Romania and Pakistan, common. So not difference, even regarding the kitchen.
Thank you, Excellency. नाज़रीन, आज आपने हमारे इस प्रोग्राम में पाकिस्तान में रोमानिया के सफ़ीर एमिलियन यून से गुफ्तगू जो है वो सुनी है। उन्होंने हमें बताया कि किस तरह पाकिस्तान और रोमानिया के दरमियान इक़्तिसादी और तजारती ताउन जो है वो बढ़ाया जा सकता है, और कौन से ऐसे शोबे हैं जिनमें दोनों ममालिक जो हैं पेश रफ्त कर सकते हैं। उन्होंने बताया कि पाकिस्तान और रोमानिया के दरमियान तालीम के शोबे में बहुत ज़्यादा पेश रफ्त हो रही है ताउन की, और रोमानिया के मैथमेटिशियंस जो है वो लाहौर में पढ़ा रहे हैं, और बहुत से 200 पाकिस्तानी तलबा जो है रोमानिया में तालीम हासिल कर रहे हैं। उन्होंने दहशतगर्दी के हवाले से पाकिस्तान के रोल को भी जो है, इस जंग में पाकिस्तान के रोल को भी अप्रिशिएट किया है, इसको सराहा। और इसी के साथ ये प्रोग्राम ख़त्म होता है। जावेद सिद्दीक को इजाज़त दीजिए। खुदा हाफिज। Excellency, thank you very much. It has been
शुक्रिया,
thank you very much.